Hi, my name is Crystal Kopp, and I did my interview with Miss Amy Klotz, RVT. Mrs. Klotz happens to be a teacher at Stotzenberger College that I met last quarter in Vet 107. She's a wonderful teacher, and she always inspired me, so I knew I had to interview her when this came up. Mrs. Klotz started back in our field in 1995. Now, in 1995, most of the vet tech or vet assistant jobs were done through on the job training. You actually didn't see too many RVTs back then. That's one of those things that has changed throughout the years. Now, after working and starting working at Dodd's Veterinary Hospital, Miss Klotz decided to go back to get her RVT, and she went back and or stayed with her clinic and has been there for the past 14 years. Now, one of the things that we got into in our interview was about how much technology has changed throughout the years that she's been in our field. Technology has changed immensely. Everything's on computers now. Medicines are different. The treatments are different. We're getting all kinds of new equipment. There was a time when something like parvo or heartworms would be a death sentence for an animal, but now it doesn't have to be. In heartworm, they've made such great advances that at one time was treated with arsenic, which is rat poisoning, to get rid of them, and it would kill the heartworms, but also significantly damage the heart tissue around where the heartworms were. Now, now that there is better medicine out there, it can be better taken care of without harsh medicine, and the mortality or the survival rate has increased exponentially. And then along with that goes with parvo. Parvo used to be one of the leading killers of especially puppies because it's such a contagious disease that a small puppy could come into contact just being in your yard. And the way that Mrs. Klotz put it was like they don't always have to necessarily put them down, but it is a very slow and painful process, either in their survival or their death. But now our medicines have improved, and there are vaccines that help prevent the parvovirus from infecting our animals. Prevention is one of those things that also has been getting better and better as the years go by in our veterinary technology field. Prevention is key, and research helps with that. And research is something that's also grown because of our field, and it's something that I'm personally really interested in. Now, without research, we wouldn't have all the breakthroughs that have our come to our field, such as like certain vaccines, just like I said before, the treatment of heartworms without arsenic. That all came through research, and research makes our field better and better every day. Now, the controversy with research is that you're still harming an animal, but a lot of people see it in the way as, yes, you may be harming that animal. That animal might die, but if that one death can be learned from, then we can save countless others. Now, a big thing with technology, as I was saying, is continuing education. Now, Mrs. Klotz definitely sees the importance of it. Not only do you have to have it to retain your license every 2 years, it's something that you should really look forward to because you're learning new technologies. You are trying out new things. You're learning new ways to do things that nobody had maybe touched on before, and it's amazing. Um, a lot of different things are a lot of different types of continuing education are offered every year, and it's a great way to increase your own knowledge and pass that knowledge on to your clinic. Um, Mrs. Klotz also talked about how our field is growing, and it is. When I first started here, I looked up all the statistics on it because it's something I always wanted to do. I love animals, and any way that I could see a way to help them, I was going to do. There is a over 12% growth in the past 5 years of our field, and as it grows, more and more schools pop up, and a lot of people would think that that would oversaturate the job market, but that's not the case. There's a lot of jobs to be had out there in our field. It all depends on what you want to do, and because our field is so taxing and so difficult sometimes, we have high turnover. And a lot of people leave the field because they're not able to take it, unfortunately enough. But for those who can, you have to learn how to balance it in your life and not to always take it home with you, because that's one of the things that can really burn you out on it. And euthanasia is one of those. Now, Miss Klotz, when I was talking to her about euthanasia, unfortunately, she had just had to put her own dog down. So it was a very touchy subject for her, but it's something that we all, as future vet techs, have to get accustomed to. It's most of the time something that's very necessary, and we have to look at it from that standpoint. We have to be willing to accept that we have to let that animal go for his own good. And for some people, it may get easier. For others, it may not. You just have to try to separate it. And Miss Kloss said it best when she said, you have to be like, I sympathize with that owner, but that's not my dog. And as cold as it can sound, when you see death, for lack of a better word, every day, you kind of have to make it cold. You have to take it to that cold place. And that's one thing that I found very interesting, is having this deep, burning passion for something, but still having to incorporate a very cold piece of yourself in it. I hope that I was informative. I really enjoyed my interview with Mrs. Klotz, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.